Hi, and welcome to Book Nook. I'm Erin Casey. I am the Communications and Development Director at Read Aloud West Virginia. And today we are very pleased to welcome meteorologist Doug Harlow. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, no problem. You are not a stranger to Book Nook.
No, I've been here a couple times. This will be my third time.
Well, you're very good at reading, so
we
want to bring the good readers back in. I want to ask you, what were some things that books that you enjoyed when you were a child?
One of my favorites was Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day.
Oh, that is a very good one.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. I used to love that. Another Grandfather Twilight, another one, kind of for really young kids.
Wonderful.
Was a favorite of mine. And of course, Goodnight Moon.
Oh yeah, who doesn't love
classic,
Goodnight Moon?
Yeah, that's always been a favorite of mine. So those were books that I really enjoyed when I was growing up.
Wonderful. Were you a reader growing up?
Yes, I used to like reading. I remember in first grade we had a competition. There was a bookworm, ceramic bookworm with glasses on. And they called him Billy Bookworm. And if you read the most books in your class throughout the whole first half of the year, you won Billy Bookworm.
Did you win Billy Bookworm?
I came in second.
Oh.
I came in second. The guy who beat me was very determined. And I couldn't quite catch him, but I was pleased to come in second. I think I got a consolation. I got a little trophy.
Well, hey, second place, that's awesome. So, well, in your line of work, reading, is important. It travels with us throughout our lives. How does it affect with what you do?
Well, it's very important for me. I have to keep up on the latest information for my job in weather. A lot of the books that I have to read for my job have a lot of numbers in them. There's a lot of mathematics with meteorology.
True.
So it's a lot of scientific reading, but it's very helpful for me. And it's very helpful just to have a broad understanding of things in general. So I like to branch off into history. Part of the reason I got into weather was because of historical storms, past weather events, and reading about them. Isaac Storm was a book by Eric Larson that I really enjoyed reading. Of course, The Perfect Storm, a lot of folks were influenced by that. And so those kind of stories about storms, especially when they're very well written, can really draw you in, and that can get a lot of people started in the subject of weather. And that's, was kind of how I got involved.
Oh, wonderful. Well, which kind of leads us to, you'll be reading some books for us today.
Yes.
And can you tell me what books you chose?
Well, I chose, one's called Thunder Boomer. You could probably guess what that might be about, about thunderstorms. And then the other one is Thunder Cake, also about thunderstorms, but with another subject that I'm interested in, food.
Oh, yes.
Although cooking, which I'm not good at. And there's actually a recipe at the end of that. For folks that are daring enough to actually know how to use an oven. You might be able to make a cake out of that. So that can be fun too.
Oh, well, wonderful. Well, we will let you get started with that, and we really do appreciate you coming in.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Awesome.
Well, the first book that I'm going to read today is called Thunder Cake, and this is by Patricia Polacco. And this combines weather and food. Pretty much my two favorite things in the world. On sultry summer days at my grandmother's farm in Michigan, the air gets damp and heavy. Storm clouds drift low over the fields. Birds fly close to the ground. The clouds grow for an instant with a sharp, crackling light, and then a roaring, low, tumbling sound of thunder makes the windows shudder in their panes. The sound used to scare me when I was little. I loved to go to Grandma's house. Babushka, as I used to call my grandma, had come from Russia years before. But I feared Michigan summer storms. I feared the sound of thunder more than anything. I always hid under the bed when the storm moved near the farmhouse. This is the story of how my grandma, my babushka, helped me overcome my fear of thunderstorms. Grandma looked at the horizon, drew a deep breath, and said, "This is thunder cake baking weather, all right? Looks like a storm is coming to me." "Child, you come out from under that bed. It's only thunder you're hearing," my grandmother said. The air was hot, heavy, and damp. A loud clap of thunder shook the house, rattled the windows, and made me grab her close. "Steady, child," she cooed. "Unless you let go of me, we won't be able to make a thunder cake today." "Thunder cake?" I stammered, as I hugged her even closer. "Don't pay attention to that old thunder, except to see how close the storm is getting. When you see the lightning, start counting real slow. When you hear the thunder, stop counting. That number is how many miles away the storm is. Understand?" she asked. "We need to know how far away the storm is, so we have time to make the cake and get it into the oven before the storm comes, or it won't be real thunder cake." Her eyes surveyed the black clouds away off in the distance. Then she strode into the kitchen. Her worn hands pulled a thick book from the shelf above the wood stove. "Let's find that recipe, child," she crowed, as she lovingly fingered the grease-stained pages to a creased spot. "Here it is, thunder cake." She carefully penned the ingredients on a piece of notepaper. "Now let's gather all the things we'll need," she exclaimed as she scurried to the back door. We were by the barn door when a huge bolt of lightning flashed. I started counting, like Grandmother told me to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then the thunder roared. 10 miles. "It's 10 miles away," Grandma said as she looked at the sky. "About an hour away, I'd say. You'll have to hurry, child. Gather them eggs careful-like," she said. Eggs from mean old Nellie Peck Hen. I was scared. I knew she would try to peck me. "I'm here. She won't hurt you. Just get them eggs," Grandma said softly. The lightning flashed again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I counted. 9 miles, Grandma reminded me. Milk was next. Milk from old Kick Cow. As Grandma milked her, Kick Cow turned and looked mean, right at me. I was scared. She looked so big. Zip went the lightning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I counted. Boom went the thunder. 8 miles, child, Grandma croaked. Now we have to get chocolate and sugar and flour from the dry shed. I was scared as we walked down the path from the farmhouse through tangleweed woods to the dry shed. Suddenly the lightning slit the sky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I counted. Boom! Ba-boom! Crashed the thunder. It scared me a lot, but I kept walking with Grandma. Another jagged edge of lightning flashed as I crept into the dry shed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I counted. Crackle, crackle, boom, kaboom! The thunder bellowed. It was dark and I was scared. I'm here, child, Grandma said softly from the doorway. Hurry now, we haven't got much time. We've got everything but the secret ingredient. 3 overripe tomatoes and some strawberries, Grandma whispered as she squinted at the list. I climbed up high on the trellis. The ground looked a long way down. I was scared. I'm here, child, she said. Her voice was steady and soft. You won't fall. I reached 3 luscious tomatoes while she picked strawberries. Lightning again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I counted. Kabang! Ba-room! The thunder growled. We hurried back to the house and the warm kitchen, and we measured the ingredients. I poured them into a mixing bowl while Grandma mixed. I churned butter for the frosting and melted chocolate. Finally, we poured the batter into the cake pans and put them into the oven together. Lightning lit the kitchen. I only counted to 3, and the thunder rumbled and crashed. 3 miles away, and the cake is in the oven, Grandma said. We made it. We'll have real thunder cake. As we waited for the cake, Grandma looked out the window for a long time. "Why aren't you afraid of thunder? You're too brave," she said as she looked right at me. "I'm not brave, Grandma. I was under the bed, remember?" I said. "But you got out from under it," she answered. "And you got the eggs from mean old Nellie Peckhen. And you got the milk from old Kick Cow. And you went through Tangleweed Woods to the dry shed. And you climbed the trellis in the barnyard. From where I sit, only a very brave person could have done all those things." I thought and thought as the storm rumbled closer. She was right. I was brave. "Brave people can't be afraid of a sound, child," she said, as we spread out the tablecloth and set the table. When we were done, we hurried into the kitchen to take the cake out of the oven. After the cake had cooled, we frosted it. Just then the lightning flashed, and this time it lit up the whole sky. Even before the last flash had faded, the thunder rolled, boomed, crashed, and broomed above us. The storm was here. "Perfect," Grandma cooed, "just perfect." She beamed as she added the last strawberry to the glistening chocolate frosting on top of our thunder cake. As rain poured down our roof, Grandma cut a wedge for each of us. She poured us steaming cups of tea from the samovar. When the thunder roared above us so hard it shook the windows and rattled the dishes in the cupboards, we just smiled and ate our thunder cake. From that time on, I never feared the voice of thunder again. It's a good way to relax about scary storms. Maybe make some food. Perhaps come up with something for hurricanes or snowstorms. Well, this book, next one, is also about thunderstorms. This one is by Shutta Kroom, and this is called Thunder Boomer, with illustrations by Carol Thompson. The day is hot. Dad plows his tractor, glinting in the sun. Tom slaps his feet against the surface of the pond. I sprawl in the shade of the chestnut tree. Scooter pants with his tongue hanging out. Mother comes down the path to settle on the dock. I hope this heat breaks soon, she says. We need a thunder boomer. Suddenly, there's a soft-touch tease. A leaf tips over, and then another. Feel that breeze, says Tom. Scrambling to my feet, I stretch my arms and try to catch each welcome gust of wind. But then the air turns chilly. Dark clouds hide the sun. The wind stirs up the pond and rustles through the corn. Mother looks around and says, "It's time to head on back. A storm is on the way." We scurry home across the fields. Dad drives the tractor in and slides the barn door shut. Tom runs and flaps his arms to coop the squawking chickens, while Mother and I race to yank the laundry from the line. Scooter follows. He wants to play. Jumping high, he snatches something white. "Stop that, Scooter! Drop it!" I yell, and for once he listens. Then suddenly a lightning flash, and the wind steals away his prize. "Let it go," Mother shouts and grabs the laundry basket. Thunder rumbles all around. We run up on the porch, and Tom and Scooter join us. The last one in is Dad. He bounds across the yard just as the clouds crack open. Then, as if someone's turned a faucet on, the rain comes gushing down, and down, and down. Something flutters by the shed. I squint into the rain. It's Maisie, my favorite chicken. She's caught out in the storm. Dad sighs and jams his hat on tight. He dashes into the downpour, jumping over puddles. Scooter barks and tags along. They're off to rescue Maisie. Dad bends to scoop her up. She balks and pecks him.